The journey I'm taking you on around the world will show you everything that's going to happen in the global world over the next 10 years. What's going to happen, why it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, who's driving it, what's causing it, and what the result will be. I am not very politically correct. I'm really not afraid to say anything that I think is valid and truthful and ethical and honest. And many of the things that I have predicted that sounded goofy in 2002 and 2005 are actually happening or have happened already. Before we die, we will see discussions of two possible states leaving the United States, Alaska and Texas seceding. When I said this in 2005, people laughed at me. When I said this in 2007, nobody laughed. Before we die, the U.S. and Canada will be pretty much merged. Alberta will be the first province to secede from Canada, followed immediately by British Columbia. Quebec is going to be alone, and I call it secession in reverse. There will never be a United States of Latin America. What's going to change the picture in Latin America is primarily oil and gas, copper, aluminum, and all the natural resources that are coming available. Not the same world we grew up in. Chris Rock says it's a crazy world when the best rapper is a white guy, the best golfer is a black guy, the tallest basketball player is a Chinese guy, the Swiss own the America's Cup, and France is suing America for arrogance. India wants to become the world's knowledge center. Knowledge center. China's economic model up to last year has always been they want to be cheap manufacturing and export. We know from history that that is not a sustainable economic model. They will catch up by 2020 to China. There is going to be a Pan-Asian alliance that will grow larger than the EU within 5 to 8 years. I predicted at least 5 or 8 years ago that China would pass Germany and become the number 3 country in the world by the end of 2008. And of course, it happened exactly on my schedule. I also predicted that China would pass Japan to become the number 2 country of the world by the end of 2010, and possibly a little sooner. And I think you're going to find out that at the end of the year, when they put out the GDP numbers, that Japan will be number 3 and China will be number 2. Chinese RMB, the renminbi, the yuan, that currency is going to become a major globally traded currency and one of the 5 big reserve currencies of the world, and it's going to happen by 2015. China is huge in every single way. China issues over 1,000 driver's licenses per day. China puts 25,000 new cars on the road every single day. China has over 33,000 miles of freeway, and it's all brand new. And the Chinese goal, as I've been saying this for 10 years, the Chinese goal is to control and dominate the world. If the Taiwan question comes up, which it's going to, and I can pretty much tell you when, where, and how, if I have time, when that comes up, if we continue our stance that we are going to support the Taiwan independence, look for a major international financial warfare incident. Japan is really a simple story. 20 years of absolute disaster, no economic growth, decreasing GDP, destroyed land and property market, destroyed stock market, continuously until China comes over and says, we're going to save the Japanese economy. And people said, well, boy, are they nice guys in China. No. This is not how it works. It has nothing to do with that. China needs Japan to create the Pan-Asian alliance that gives them dominance of trade in the world. Who are the new Chinas that will take over the economic model of cheap manufacturing? Turkey, Egypt, the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, North Africa. The new Indias will include primarily Hungary and Brazil. But I will tell you that India has at least a 7-year lead on the world when it comes to IT technology. No one's going to catch them. Cuba will become the #1 tourist destination in the Western Hemisphere and the major convention destination of anywhere in the Northern Americas. I do, however, predict that Castro, like Elvis, will live forever and be seen in 2050. Croatia is becoming and will become one of the major development parts of the world for tourism. If you've ever been there, it's magnificent. Ethics have changed dramatically. Let me tell you the story of Kenny and the dead donkey. A city boy named Kenny came into the country and bought a $100 donkey from a farmer and said, "Deliver me the donkey tomorrow." The next day, the farmer came to Kenny and said, "I have bad news, the donkey died." Kenny said, "No problem, just give me back the $100. I'll do something else." The farmer said, "Well, I got a little problem. I already spent the $100. So Kenny said, "Okay, well, that's not good, but I'll tell you what, deliver the dead donkey." And the farmer said, "What are you going to do with the dead donkey?" He said, "Well, I'm going to raffle the donkey off." He says, "You can't raffle off a dead donkey." And he said, "Yes, I can. Watch me." A week later, the farmer showed up again. He said, "Whatever happened to that raffle of the dead donkey?" He said, "Well, it went great." He said, "I sold 500 tickets at $2 each, and I made a profit of $998. He said, "Well, didn't anybody get mad?" He said, "Only the guy who was the winner. I gave him back his $2. Kenny grew up to become the CEO of Enron. I hope this has been for you an interesting, exciting, challenging, mind-bending experience. The world is a mind-bending experience. Every day when you read the news from now on or you listen to the news, I want you to think about that crazy guy, Tom Faranda, that got up there and told you stuff that didn't make any sense until all of a sudden it did. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.